Compliment of the season and a very beautiful day to you. Welcome to another edition of the educative program Kaduna Electric Watch. I remain Faisal Babadia, your regular anchor. Last week, in line with the global best practice, Kaduna Electric joined the world business community in celebrating Customer Service Week. These are days set aside globally to appreciate both service providers for their efforts in providing beneficial services to humanity and the customers for their loyalty. The theme of this year's celebration is the power of service. We shall bring you some of the activities carried out by Kaduna Electric to mark this year's week. Before then, let's take the electricity news.
Here is the news, but first the major headlines. Kaduna Electric donates learning materials to schools orphanage. Kaduna Electric marks 2021 Customer Service Week, and in the spirit of the moment, Kaduna Electric supports children with special needs. Now the news in details. As primary and secondary schools resume across the country, Kaduna Electric has donated learning materials to pupils of some primary schools in Kaduna State as well as orphanage home. Beneficiaries are the LEA Model Primary School, Mando, Al-Ihsan Orphanage and Barnawa LEA Primary School, all in Kaduna. Delivering the items on behalf of the company, Malam Idris Muhammad of the Corporate Communication Department of Kaduna Electric described the gesture as fulfillment of corporate social responsibility policy of the company. According to him, Kaduna Electric has a corporate policy of giving back to the society through its corporate social responsibility programs. In their separate responses, the head teacher of LEA Model Primary School, Mando, Hajia Zuwaira Musa, the head teacher, LEA Barnawa, Mrs. Asabedauda Musa, and mother of the home, Al-Ihsan Orphanage, Hajia Rabi Uwar Marayu, thanked the management of Kaduna Electric for the philanthropic gesture and promised to ensure that the items donated are judiciously distributed and effectively utilized by the pupils and orphans respectively. Items donated include exercise books, pens, pencils, and sharpeners. Meanwhile, Kaduna Electric joined the rest of the world in celebrating this year's Customer Service Week. The week is marked worldwide every first week of October. In his goodwill message, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Kaduna Electric, Engineer Garba Haruna, assured customers of the company's commitment to continuously improve its services and urged customers to also support the company by discharging their responsibilities accordingly. Some of the responsibilities he highlighted include prompt payment of bills, avoiding meter bypass, tampering, and all forms of energy theft. He also tasked customers to help in the fight against vandals by keeping an eye on electricity installations in their neighborhood. In another development, as part of activities marking this year's Customer Service Week, Kaduna Electric donated food items, toiletries, sanitary materials, clothing, beverages, confectionaries, and assorted drinks to people of Kaduna State Special Education School, Kaduna. Presenting the items on behalf of the Managing Director, CEO, Engineer Garba Haruna, the Chief Customer Relations Officer of the company, Engineer Aliyu Abbas Abdullahi, disclosed that the gesture is aimed at providing relief and more conducive learning atmosphere to the children with special needs. In his remarks, the principal of the school, Mr. Bakotan Kujoks, described the gesture as the best gift received by the school lately. On behalf of all the pupils, the school's management, and the government of Kaduna State, we sincerely appreciate your kind-hearted and philanthropic gesture. These children will surely remember this day and your company for a very long time to come, he asserted. Thank you. I'm Jamila Bala.
In today's interview segment of the program, we shall have the head of Unit Customer Services, Mrs. Fumilayo King. She will provide answers to some of the frequently asked questions in the sector, the approved grievances redress mechanism, and other sundry issues. Have a wonderful viewing experience.
The power of service, as you have just said it, is the ability for you to be able to influence, have a strong feeling, give in terms of the needs and wants of the customers. The customers do not just want the product, they want to feel the product. Okay, and because of that, we're going to be looking at how well we resonate this power, make it resounding for the customers to really feel us, have a feel of us. Because right now, if you look at it, our services is service-based. Our tariffing is service-based. So we're going to be looking at what exactly can we do to improve on our services? What can we also do to make the customer feel joy? That is what it will be for us. Most complaints we receive are either on interruptions, billing, metering requests, but we try as much as possible to ensure that whatever their needs are, right, we meet the service level agreement for it. We are a regulated industry. There is a standard for resolution of complaints. For instance, in interruption, the service level agreement is between 6 hours for fuse outs, for GNP drop, power cuts, but we try to make sure that we resolve within the shortest possible time, okay? As soon as practicably possible. Once we receive the complaints, we have our CRM, which is the Customer Relationship Management System. It's an app which we use to immediately forward this complaint to the necessary department. The department takes these complaints from the CRMs and immediately move to sites. So most often you find out that we give even services beyond the service level agreements. Company-wide, we receive at least 100, an average of 100 in a day, okay? And most of it, like I did explain earlier, comes from the technical aspect of the business. A lot of time, because we have inherited the network system, we try to see how best we can maintain this network. In trying to maintain them, we try to see that all the complaints are resolved within acceptable periods. So once they come in, we resolve them immediately. But I would like to say it that we receive more of technical complaints. There's an approved redress mechanism, which is approved by our regulators, the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Company. What they do, what we have in place is that the customer needs to first of all visit the customer care unit of the distribution licensee. Okay? Upon visit, he is to write down his complaints. Okay? And once the complaint is received by the customer care unit, they forward these complaints for investigations and resolutions. Now, if the customer is not satisfied by level of resolution from the distribution company, he's at liberty to then forward an appeal to the forum office. The forum office addresses are on all our bills. They are on our website as well as in all our communications to customers. Now, once the forum receives the complaints, if it gains merit, it goes into hearing. The customer as well as the distribution company will be required to come in for hearings. Once the customer is not satisfied by the resolution given at the hearings, the customer is also at liberty to then appeal to a higher body, which is the commission, and it is seated in Abuja. Now, the commission adjudicates between the customer and the distribution licensee, which is, in this case, is the DISCO. Once they adjudicate, if the customer is also not satisfied, he is at that point at liberty to take up or follow up any of the other options available to him. The unit, for me, tries as much as possible to strike a balance by ensuring fairness. In ensuring fairness, we work within the confines of the regulation. Now, the regulation gives the rights and the obligations for both the discos as well as the customers. The company now puts the onions on us as customer service personnel to ensure that the rights of the customers as well as the company is protected. For the customer, we ensure that they receive our services in a reliable manner, okay? And then we also ensure that our customers pay and they pay promptly.
With this interview segment, we have come to the end of today's edition of the program Kaduna Electric Watch. Thank you for viewing.